And good morning to everyone. Scotty Ray and Candace, and yes, we're attached at the knee, as you can tell here in the back.
Yes, I got my little earplug in.
Eventually, after the equipment, you try to buy anything these days, you just can't get it. And our board, which would separate this, we ain't got where we could have each headphone, so we got to share one this morning. And we go live through the flat woods, up across the hills, and past the fire tower to DeKalb, Mississippi. Good morning, Chris Gully.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing this morning?
Good. We're doing good.
Now, you've got y'all put a lot of work behind this, and y'all had to miss last year, I think, because of COVID, but you've got it back this year.
We did. So this is our actual fourth annual Night Under the Stars, which if COVID hadn't come along, this would be our fifth annual Night Under the Stars.
Right. And now, last time you had Jeff Bates, right?
We had Jeff Bates. We sure did. Had a big time. It was the best one we've had so far, but I think tomorrow night may actually top that one. Now, I love Jeff, but I think tomorrow night's going to be a lot bigger event than what we even had 2 years ago.
Now, the Reeves brothers, for folks who don't know them, tell us a little bit about them, because they're straightforward country, aren't they? Are they not?
They are as pure country gets. The Reeves brothers are the ACMA Traveling Honky Tonk Band of the Year in 2019. Because of COVID, nobody was the Traveling Band of the Year in 2020.
Well, you get to keep your title. But they were
right. So you get to keep your title one more year, which they're going to win it again, I'm sure. But just pure hard driving country, steel guitars, just the good old Merle Haggard honky tonk sound that everybody around here loves.
That's the best kind, isn't it?
It is.
It's the kind of stuff that I saw Candace dance to when we were in school at scuba together. So it's.
Now, I was always the first one out there and the last one off the dance floor.
I forgot that y'all went to college together.
We did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And this sounds really like it's going to be for the entire family. This is something the entire family can come to.
In fact, we couldn't have our Halloween carnival this past year, so we're going to have a carnival on the football field, weather permitting. And if not, we're going to have the carnival spread out through the classrooms of the school. And we're going to move the music to the gym. But we're praying that the rain is going to move out by lunchtime. We're going to set everything up, and we're going to have a beautiful night on the football field tomorrow night. It's going to be something for everybody.
You may get your wish on this.
Yeah.
Now,
I might have to bring you galoshes, but
by the time the show starts,
I wear boots anyway. It's all right.
Now, showtime, you will be out of rain. It won't be anything happening at showtime. After lunch, it does kind of look like it's going to fade away, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed that Mother Nature doesn't speed up or slow down. It kind of stays the way it is.
Right. We need Mother Nature to cooperate.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about some of these other folks that are going to be up singing with them.
Right. Well, at 6 o'clock, we're going to start with our elementary children. They are going to be doing our spring musical, and we are featuring all Mississippi artists.
I think that'd be
Britt
great.
was telling me the other day. He said that most schools learn about Mozart and Beethoven. Our kids at school learn about Jimmy Rogers and Elvis and Muddy Waters.
I think this is a great thing, too, that they learn this at an early age. They learn about the artist of Mississippi, because a lot of people might not find that out till later on.
Yeah.
So.
And, I even know grown people that don't know who Jimmy Ruffin is.
Yeah.
I run into grown people that don't know that Jimmy Buffett is from Mississippi. Run into grown people that think Elvis came from Memphis.
You have to educate them.
Right. So there's nothing sweeter in the world than hear kindergarten students sing "Kiss an Angel Good Morning."
There you go.
Gosh, I bet that's going to be great.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're going to feature all Mississippi artists: Muddy Waters, Faith Hill. You name them, we're just about going to sing. Even going to talk about Paul Overstreet. People forget about Paul Overstreet, one of the greatest songwriters. Wrote the song "Love Can Build a Bridge."
Yep.
And people forget about that. They forget about the songwriters. And we're going to even talk about them.
Well, good.
And then at 7 o'clock, Britt, Scott McQuaig, Emily White, just a whole lot of people from around here are going to take. They're even going to let me play with them, believe it or not.
Get out of town.
And
it looks like you're going to have Ashley
time.
Stewart, John Elmore, and Karen Elmore, and Justin McCoy.
I still tell Karen that she is still my all-time favorite singer of all time.
Oh, she got a beautiful voice.
Oh man, she is awesome.
Now, how much
David
are
and Linda
tickets?
Posey. Hey, you're not going to beat this price anywhere in the world. $10 for adults, $5 for children, and that includes almost everything. The dunking booth and the cakewalk are the only two things that doesn't include. But that includes your music, that includes your carnival games, that includes the bounce houses. Food trucks will be on site. You'll have to pay for whatever food you want. But other than that, a $10 flat fee to walk in and get to do everything is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and for that $10, you can stay and help clean up later too, right?
We'll even let you do all of that you want to.
Scotty Ray said he's going to be the first one to help.
He would. He would. I know him. He would do that for me. He would do it.
Been there and done that, haven't we?
Well,
We have
this
a
sounds
lot
like
of
it's going
times.
to be a wonderful thing, and I'm so glad y'all are doing this. I've never been able to be at one of these, but I would love to come and bring my little boys because he's in kindergarten and he'd love to see those kids up there singing.
Oh, yeah.
So.
We'll even let him sing if he wants to.
Oh well, don't ask him because he will. He'll be the first one up there. He's got that much of his mama in him.
She
I
do.
always tell kids you can be a lot of things, but you can't be scared.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Well, Chris, thank you
great.
for taking the time out and talking to us again. The location and time.
Kemper Academy on the football field, and we hope on the football field. If not, we'll be in the gym and the classrooms with the games. But everything is going to start at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and we'll quit sometime before church starts on Sunday morning.
There you go.
Let's go over one more time the
Okay.
artists that are going to be there. It's going to be Britt Gully, Scott McQuaig, Emily White, Ashley Stewart, John Elmore and Karen Elmore, Justin McCoy, David and Linda Posey, Martha Reynolds, Savannah Allen, and Parker Houston.
All leading up to the big stage act there of the Reeves brothers that will take the
Yes.
stage and do some country with you.
And one more to add, Seth Holmes. A lot of y'all know Seth. That's Eddie Seipel's grandson.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Piano. He's in the 7th grade. Great piano player. Getting to be a pretty good drummer. He's going to play a little bit for us.
I've watched that at Cypress Mills.
Right.
That's great.
So it's going to be fun. If you don't enjoy it, we'll check your pulse before you leave. I'll just say that.
Well, thank you, Chris. We
Yes.
appreciate it. We'll be back in touch.
Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all. Yeah, thank y'all for letting me come on. Y'all have a great day.
You
All right,
too.
brother. Chris Gully
All right, thank y'all.
talking with us from Kemper Academy as they get ready for the big show tomorrow night that is going to be happening there at Kemper Academy. If you could make it up, $10. That's not bad at all.
That's right. I mean, that is a really good thing, especially in this day and time when people are just getting back to getting out and doing things. And this would be a great family event to go to.
You're going to like it when we finally get equipment where you don't have to share.
I know.
That was like the old tin can thing there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Bad weather is in the forecast. Let's go back over that and let's talk about that a minute. Severe weather, and I say bad, severe, however you want to word this, is in the forecast, and it will come in after midnight tonight in these dark hours. Let's go to radar and pull this up so we can get a quick scan of what we've got going on here. As we go down, we'll show you two displays. This is for today before midnight. Right through here to Jackson, Mississippi. It's been extended a little bit. This was over in Louisiana. They've extended it to Jackson now. This is where probably the most tornadic activity that would occur. We're just outside of that, under a 2 in the Meridian area. And this is up until midnight. Now let's change this over for midnight on till daylight. That's all right. Let's go here and turn that off. This is what happens after midnight. It all shifts east. And from Brandon, Mississippi, eastward, we become a 2, and this goes all the way up the East Coast. Look at that.
Goodness.
Through the Carolinas. That's big. But Gulfport, y'all are in this with us, Hattiesburg, all of these areas. And let me do this so we can show what the National Weather Service is telling us as we look at all of this. What did I do? I know what I didn't do. I might hit a button. Let's do this where everybody can see. And that is the wrong one, Candace. Leave it up to me to hit the wrong button.
It's okay.
All right, almost
We're
there.
a little out of our element this morning with the trying a new thing. So.
All right, let me get down here to where almost there. I didn't have all my ducks in a row as we got started, so to speak. You know what I mean? All right, here's what the National Weather Service tells us. This is from midnight till 6 a.m. here, all of this area here as we do this. Again, it will shift east we're hoping this stuff, as we get deeper into the forecast, is going to get out of here before proms and all of that good stuff. The National Weather Service tells us tonight, 100% chance of possible thunderstorms, mainly before 2 a.m. So midnight to 2 a.m. could be our worst time. Storms still can produce up until daylight, till 6 a.m. 2 inches of rain possible. As we look at this tomorrow, 100% chance of showers and thunderstorms should be ending by 8:30, 9 o'clock at the very latest. Some of them could be severe, high near 81 for tomorrow. And it'll be hit and miss showers, I think, through possibly lunchtime. Now, let's scan through some of this and look at this as it goes down across Alabama. Let's look at our chances of rain here. This is a lot of rain coming, 2 to 4 inches of it in this elevated area there. They're saying definitely 1 to 2, but up to 2 and 4, depending upon how heavy the thunderstorms are. So you're going to get wet.
I hate this nighttime bad
I know.
weather. You know, it seems like it always hits at night. Look, it's like I got something on my shirt. It's a snag.
You got hung on something.
I did. I'm bad about doing that, walking by something. But
Well,
anyway.
I could go direct traffic today with my shirt.
You could.
You cannot miss me.
You could.
It's bright.
You might get confused with them workers
Yeah, I
from
know.
the prison.
Yeah, I don't need to go around nobody on the side of the road picking up
Prison
trash.
orange.
Do I? That's
No,
exactly.
I like orange, though.
But that is prison orange, isn't
Is
it?
it? Well,
It's-
I like it, though. I mean, I don't like the prison and stuff, but yeah.
what was that Jeff
good.
Bates song, My Kind of People? I don't know if you remember that. I remember Nashville when they come out with the song, all of them were wearing
Yeah.
jumpsuits and orange vests. It was
Yeah.
funny.
But
Anyway,
I like the bright colors. I think
you
that's
ain't
good.
going to miss me.
That's
You
what-
won't lose me up in a store anywhere today, that's for sure.
I look like Doom in my gray.
Oh, dude. Gray's a pretty good color. I like that. It goes with just about anything.
At one time, I think everything I owned was black. You know, I looked like I was probably gothic or something. If you looked in my closet.
In those, yeah. Nothing wrong with black. It's good stuff there. Let's see here. What's going on today? Of course, we brought up the headlines a while ago. There's a lot going on with this shooting that took place in Ohio.
It is.
And the people that want to make it something that it's not.
Right. You know, the cop, you know, should have been praised a little more, I think, for trying to save a life. And, you know, and it's like somebody said yesterday, sometimes, I mean, it's awful that the young girl lost her life.
Yes.
But, you know, there could have been 2 or 3 more that lost theirs if nothing had been done. So.
And then the NBC, and I don't want to word it wrong, but they're in a little bit of hoopla over editing of stopping the video short of showing the knife.
Yeah.
They wanted to imply that the cop shot without the knife. And all that is for ratings on these big news people.
Yeah.
So again, be careful of what you watch. Not everything, you know, the old saying, don't believe anything you hear and only half what you see.
Right,
Nowadays, it's
right.
less than half of what you see.
Yeah, and you know, people do that. They edit videos and won't show. I mean, we saw that with like you know, when the election was going on.
Oh,
I mean, there was
yeah.
a lot of stuff that the stuff they should have left in there that would have really cleared the air in a lot of instances about some things that they took out. So,
And if you get into CNN's ratings at this point, they're plummeting still daily. They're less than half of they were when Trump was in office, and they've even admitted that they wanted to stoke the fire for ratings now.
right.
Just not fire. I hope I don't even like the word Russia anymore. It's gotten on my everlast nerve.
Well, this day and time, I mean, it's like somebody said the other day, bad's good and good's bad, and I mean
Yeah.
everything's opposite. And if you speak up about something that you're in the right about speaking up, you know, you're the one that gets bashed for it a lot of times. But you know.
In the case that we're talking about that happened in Ohio, they're marching all over the United States now with protests. Last night, from this same protest, they go into New York Central Park. Here's a picture of it. And they vandalize the monument as you go in. And, of course, this is Christopher Columbus. And I asked you
Yeah.
before we went on, why Christopher? What has he done to people?
I don't think they have a certain reason to do certain statues. I just think they want to tear some stuff up, you know, and just because they think they can.
And
you
use it
know.
as an excuse to...
Right. And just like burning down businesses, burning down people's businesses that they worked hard for, you know. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to this stuff. It's just chaos, and it's lawlessness or
Yeah, it's
whatever you wanna call it.
lawlessness is the word. It kind of sounds like coleslaw, doesn't it? It just
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I just think people do it because they can get away. They think they can get away with it. In a lot of instances, they do.
And in a lot of these towns, after these businesses are burned, they're not coming back. They took their loss, and they can't afford that to happen again, and they won't rebuild in a lot of these towns.
Right.
And you can't. Could you blame them?
No. I mean, if you can imagine that you've opened up a business that you have worked your life for. You've put everything some of these people put every dollar they've ever made into a business to try to make it grow, and then all of a sudden it's gone just because somebody is wanting to burn some stuff down, and cause chaos. It's just gone. And I mean, even if you get insurance, that takes time.
Yes.
You got to provide for your family while you're trying to rebuild. I mean, it's just some people just can't do it anymore.
I read this also. This was in California. There's a certain area of California where they want to force employees to pay a higher rate of pay during the pandemic, and it's called hero pay. They were going to force Kroger to do it, and they're having to close 2 stores because of it, because it would be an additional $4 an hour for every person there, and they said, we can't afford it. It's already low-producing stores, and if we tag this on, we'll go bankrupt. So they're closing the stores instead of staying opening. I don't think the government should be able to force you to tell you what you got to pay your employees.
Right. Not only that, like we talked about yesterday, it's hard for some people to find people to work right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're getting free money. Not everybody keeps on working like they should.
Yeah.
If they get this money. And this is money that I know probably helps a lot of people. I know that it probably does, but it's a vicious circle right now going on, with people. If you own a business and you have to pay more to your employees, that's going to hurt you. Then you can't get people to work. I mean, we see that every day.
Because everybody can add, okay, you're going to make $250 a week if you do this, but if you sit at home, we're going to pay you $500 a week.
Yeah.
What you going to do?
Yeah.
Can you blame somebody for taking more money? No.
Right. It's not only unemployment, which I'm going to say I had gotten unemployment because I was out of work for 2 months, and it wasn't like I could go to work. I could not, when we were stuck at home, we couldn't work, and I had nothing coming in at all, except for that. And it took us a while because we were self-employed. It took us a while to even be able to get the unemployment. I mean, it took staying on the phone from the moment the phone line opened till at night. We were on the phone at midnight trying to get somebody to answer. But anyway, people are not gonna, it's unemployment they get the stimulus checks. Now they're gonna start getting a certain amount of money for kids every month. And if you have 2 or 3 kids and you get $300 a month each, I mean, that's a lot of money.
It is. Now, yesterday in the shadows, and they've been talking about this for years upon years, it's close. Now, what I don't know is if it gets to the Senate, how this turns out, if it's the 50-50 vote or it has to be 60% pass this. But D.C. statehood passed the House. So what this means, if this was to pass, this would give 2 more senators on the Democratic side and change the Senate totally to where anything they wanted could run through and pass for the next 2 years. Now, again, where I'm confused that I don't know everything that I need to do is once it reaches the Senate, does it have to be a 50-50 vote, that 49-49, and then Kamala comes in and passes that one to give it to 50? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that either. I've been kind of asking, what exactly does this mean?
Yeah, I'm going to have to
DC
search into it.
Yeah.
To how many votes it will take to pass that. And somebody may have already read that and know that if you do pass that along to us this morning. We need to say some good mornings to some folks that are up and stirring. There's a bunch of y'all moving about.
It is. It's a whole bunch this morning. Milton Savelle, good morning to you. And Joyce Godwin, good morning.
From Pachuta, Miss Teresa Green, how are you doing? And from the Clarkdale community, Joanne McDonald, how are you doing, girl?
From Lamar County, we have Joseph Elliott. Good morning to you. And Elmer Talbert says he and Mary Lynn are watching, and good morning from Houston.
Yeah, Houston, Texas there. Good morning to Sissy McKee. Also, Kathy Jenkins watching this morning as well.
Miss Gail Gafford's watching, and Terry Carter, good morning.
Along with Joe Collins. Also, Shirley Sharp is watching from Beatline, Mississippi. Salute. I need to know what the population is up there.
Debbie Penny says good morning to everybody. And Sue Gerald, good morning to you.
Let's see here. John Ellis said Britt and Scott together for tomorrow night. That's going to be great. Sharon Johnson is watching from Meridian. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Miss Lita Joe, good morning to you. And Harvey Cleveland, he's watching this morning.
Let's see. Good morning to Daphne Childs, and also Linda Jane is up. She woke up this morning. She's glad to be a part of it.
Nick Dial says you looking sharp this morning, Scotty Ray.
It's because you know I can come out and do them safety meetings is what he's thinking with this big orange shirt on.
Daphne said she didn't ever hear of the pin-up lady either yesterday that we were talking about.
Y'all don't make me pull up a picture.
Yeah.
There's some decent pictures out there.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll show one.
She's got
at some
hosiery,
point
but
tomorrow.
Well,
tomorrow's Saturday. We won't
yeah,
show
we'll
it
do it
Saturday.
Monday.
Monday we might do that. Yeah.
Let's see. Not happy birthday. I was going to say happy birthday. What is wrong with me? Let's see. Milton Savell, good morning to you. Dot Smith, good morning.
Mm-hmm. He said 60-50. Is that what he's talking about on the vote? 60,
it has to be
50?
60. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I think they'll have a hard time passing it if it's 60 votes. They would have to get 10 to 11 Democrats to. I
don't know. All that's so confusing to me. It's like stuff's changing all the time. I don't know.
But there's a nuclear button that they can push, or they have in the past, to where it takes it to the 50, and you don't have to have the 60. But I don't see extra people voting for that because it would change everything.
I think it would mean that Republicans. I heard something the other day where they said that there's so many Republicans would have to switch to the Democratic side and vote
for it. It'd have to be 10 of them have to vote.
Right. But would take 10 representatives to vote for it.
And these many Republicans to jump over on the other side. So I don't see that happening. Now, Mitt Romney, look, our new little guy, who's the one that passed away that Trump didn't care for, that passed away? His daughter doesn't like Trump.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's from Arizona. I can see.
Why can I not think of that?
He was a POW.
They called him a songbird.
The songbird.
Yeah.
That got a lot of men
McCain.
killed. Yeah, John McCain.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people killed there. And like it or not, that's history.
Right.
Truly happened.
I don't know if we said good morning, Miss Dot Smith in Stonewall.
Hey, Stonewall.
Yeah.
Stonewall's a beautiful little town there.
It is. It's like I love a lot of these little towns like Stonewall, Philadelphia, even Meridian. We got these old, historic-looking homes.
It is. And, when you get into Neshoba County, that is some of the nicest people that you will ever bump into in your life. Mm-hmm. Marty Stewart is really doing a great job. They're building the Country Music Hall of Fame. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
And so thumbs up to Marty there for doing that.
I love when people do that, and they build things, come back to their hometowns, and they build things, for the people to see. I mean, it's something to be proud of. It really is.
I don't think everybody just realizes just how big a deal Marty is. He's basically the spokesperson for country music at this point. And to have him a part of he's worked hard from 11 years old to be where he is.
That's
so
something to be proud of.
Thumbs up, Marty.
Sure.
Let's see. We mentioned this already about the shooting, and this is just out there where the neighbor is saying that's not what happened, and the media is still trying to twist it. Mm-hmm. They released the video footage from next door, and she clearly has the knife where she went after the kid there. And the neighbor is saying the cop did what he was supposed to, or that other little girl would have died. Mm-hmm. Who knows that she wouldn't have gotten 2 or 3 more? You don't know. But it's sad that a 15-year-old, number one, would even have it in her mind to take a knife after somebody. And that's what's troubling.
I know I guess you can't totally blame a parent for stuff like this happening.
But there's some bad apples, and it's almost, to the core. I know, is that what you're going with on that?
And you got to take some kind of accountability as a parent when stuff like this happens. I'm not saying that you need to be totally blamed. You can't control everything your child does, but you got to know that they're capable of something like this. You have to know what's going, you know what I'm saying? It's like there should have been a little bit of insight into maybe she was planning to do this, or she was having a tiff and was like capable of doing something like this.
We don't know what her past was.
Right.
Watch your kids.
I don't know. It's awful. I mean, it's an awful thing that happened, and I hate that the girl lost her life.
No, that's bad.
But like I said, there could have been several more that lost theirs, because of it. If nothing had been done.
Right. So we pray. Now this, I don't know if I could do it because anytime that I get a pizza, I get a fork and I start chunking this
stuff off of it.
Yeah. Here's the headline this morning. Would you do this?
Eat just 1 medium mushroom a day can reduce your risk of cancer.
By 45%. That's pretty high.
I could. I'd have to cook it. I couldn't eat it raw or anything.
But mushrooms.
I like fried mushrooms.
After I watched that Young Guns and they ate them mushrooms out there in the field and they all got higher than kites, I ain't cared for mushrooms since.
Yeah.
They're bitter.
That might be a different kind of mushroom.
Oh, but they're bitter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like fried mushrooms dipped in ranch dressing. I know that
Okay.
sounds real fattening.
Well,
But
there you
anyway.
go. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends over at Snowden. And I tell you what, Snowden Company really help you out when it comes to real estate. If you're getting ready to sell your home, talk to Miss Amanda. Let her walk you through this process. There's so much that they can do to, well, make you more money because it is your life's investment.
That's right. And it's one of the most important investments that you'll ever make is buying a home. Even selling your home. I mean, somebody out there is looking for a home and
That's right.
you need some advice as to how much your home is worth. Just give Amanda a call at Snowden Real Estate.
And the paperwork, if you were to do this on your own, is astronomical and codes and this, that. They
Yeah.
go through all of that and have it ready. And all you got to do is sit down and sign, which makes it a whole lot easier. Lining up all these inspections that has to go through
Right.
for the banks. And they handle all of that for you. Now, the counties of Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark, that's what they specialize in. And they've got homes in all of those areas. And if you live there and want to sell yours, contact her. A few of the homes there.
If you want to be in a specific school district, I'm sure you can contact them and they can help you out there.
Because, as you've got young kids, you're in a certain area for that. As you
Right.
get older, you may want to move to somewhere else. And I say older as in your kids are,
Out of school,
Yeah.
out of the house. You need to downsize. I know a lot of people who say that. We had this big, huge house when we had all the kids. It was really convenient, but now we want to downsize. Everybody's gone. So she can help you out there. I mean, and I've looked before. They have some nice homes. They detail the information about the homes on the website. And if you need any other information, I mean, all you got to do is give them a call.
that's right. Talk to Amanda. Again, she's a designated seller representative, certified real estate negotiating expert, 453-3937. They're on, drop in to see them there in Broadmoor area there. Poplar Springs Drive is the actual address of it, but
Right.
Broadmoor.
It's right down from Nee's Restaurant.
Or you can call it North Hills, however
Yeah.
you want. It's
Yeah.
got so many different names up in that area there.
It's kind of right by the old North Hill Street area,
Yeah, sure is. So Amanda is the name to remember there. Denise Hooper said you can go to Sam's and get a jar of marinated mushrooms. Yum.
I have not had those.
And Lynn LaFleur said that was, what do you call that? Peyote? That's from Young Guns. Peyote, is that what that's called? The mushroom?
Peyote, I don't know.
That, boy, they got higher than a Georgia pine is what
Yeah.
they got, if y'all remember that scene. That's what I remember watching from that. So that was a good show, though. I did like it a whole bunch.
Yes.
All right, let's see here what else we got going on. Let's go back to some news stories of what's shaking across America today. Let's see, we can close that out and go to the next one here. We'll talk about that another day. Let's go to this is
a horrible thing. Yeah, it is. It's a Amish girl, and I just had seen this.
what they were looking for.
Yeah, I did not know this, but 18-year-old Amish girl was missing. She was on her way home from work. Is that right? Church. Excuse me, church. And they
This
have
is
found
her.
her now.
Buried in a 3-foot grave. And as you look at that, they've charged somebody with it, and I hope they pay. 18 years old, that's young. What'd she do
That's
to
awful.
deserve this?
I mean, that's horrible. Horrible.
You remember the story not long ago of the girl that was jogging, and the farmer from down the road chased her down, raped her, and killed her?
Yeah.
Now, they hadn't released all that information on this. I don't think they've done an autopsy to determine if other things happened.
Right. But the guy, or I say guy, I guess it was a guy. I mean, you would assume.
We assume.
But buried her behind his workplace.
Oh. So
There's some sick people in this
it
world.
is.
every
Keep that
day.
family in your thoughts
Yes.
this weekend because they're going through a rough time there. Here's something else that went on in Washington, and like her or not, she's tough.
Yeah,
we
she
gotta.
is.
She's doing exactly what Georgia wanted her to do. Marjorie Taylor has confronted AOC.
She's doing exactly what a lot of people need to be doing. We
Yeah.
need to be all standing up for.
And I saw this headline this week, and I didn't comment on it because it was so bogus. But AOC has said that climate change is due to racism.
I think they're going to pin that on everything. They try to say
Yeah.
everything is caused by racism.
So what Marjorie has done, she has challenged her to a debate on climate control of how racism has caused that. And so far she has declined to join her in a debate.
To me, this is, this is me saying this, nobody else.
What you saying?
This administration, to me, seems to be the most racist administration I've ever seen.
It is.
I'm sorry. I believe they push that on a lot of people, and they try to, that AOC. She just needs to go back to bartending.
She is definitely in a different corner than everybody else.
She wants to stir up some stuff and cause nothing but chaos. I
What is it,
I don't know.
Four of them that's in her little group, the squad that they call them. Is it four of them?
I've seen them. I don't know all their names, but I've seen them. Yeah, there's several of them that it's just constant. And I'm not saying, I say this all the time. I'm not saying racism does not exist, because obviously it does.
Oh, it does.
Not as much as what they're saying. And the climate control or climate change is due to racism. What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't get it.
How can that even be? That is crazy to me. Crazy.
But that's what's out there going on in Washington this week. Here's another one of these situations of, why did you do this? As we look at this, this happened, I believe it was in Brooklyn, New York. And they don't show this. As you scroll down on this, it was two girlfriends, I guess, that had broken up.
Yeah.
And here's her coming up behind the girl. Let me see if it'll show this. Let me F5 this to where it'll show this, where she comes up behind her. And here it comes. And just walks up and shoots her in the head from behind. Unexpected. She's been arrested. But another loss of life for no reason there. So
I wonder how much we'll hear about that, though.
Yeah, it'll go away in a day or so, quickly. It doesn't make the headlines. It doesn't sell or get ratings, so they don't focus on that. All the cops in Knoxville, Tennessee, have been cleared of the charges of the youngster that had the gun at school, and they shot him. The cops, they've released video footage of it. This is a young man that was killed. The cops will not be charged in any of that, and that's good.
Yeah.
He was going to hurt somebody else, had a gun at school, and we know what that led to.
Yes, that would have been horrible, I'm sure.
Now, I've never watched the Indy racing, and I've had a little trouble of warming back up to NASCAR after all the hoopla that they've done. But the Indy is coming, and they got a bunch of people that are going to be attending the race.
Yeah.
135,000 people expected to be in the stands next month.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the largest, like they said, the largest sporting event since the pandemic started. It's going to be the largest gathering, supposedly, of people.
So be ready for that. If you're a big Indy fan, that is coming to a stadium near you, or a racetrack. I guess I should take that back. As we go to, and I'm not much on Olympics. I'm not going to lie to y'all. They don't have events that just really thrill me a whole lot, like hubcap chunking and things that would actually be fun.
I used to watch, some of the ice skating or snow skiing and stuff. Gymnastics, if that was ever in the Olympics.
I don't know why this never made it to the Olympics. Do you remember Howard Cosell when he'd do the tug of wars between the stars? I don't know if you remember that as a kid.
No.
Where they had all these Olympic games and they'd put all the stars against each other. That went away, but it was funny as a kid to watch.
Yeah.
But the Olympics in Tokyo says you're not going to do it. There will be no kneeling at it, or you're thrown out. They will take you up on that, and you'll be banned.
Why can't we set rules like this in America?
Because they want to.
Why can't?
It's a good point.
I don't understand.
Tokyo is not going to put up with it at the end of the day, so that's what's coming with Tokyo there. If you were a big Richard Nixon fan, you can still own his house. Matter of fact, I think they put this up for sale 6 times, and no one's bought it. Nixon's house there, $65 million. Yeah, 6 years is where I got the 6 from.
Okay.
But it's back on the market there.
I wonder why it was failing to sell.
I don't know.
Is that it right there?
That's it. It doesn't thrill me.
Let's,
Would you pay $65 million for that? This might be why it's still on the market.
Yeah.
But as you go down, this is where he spent his last days there after he left the presidency.
Like gold and yellow.
Yeah, that
I think it looks neat though.
neat, but I wouldn't want it. Now the pool's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But 65. Think what you
65
could
million,
build.
that's a chunk.
You could build a bunch of house for $65 million. At least in Mississippi, you could.
That's what I've never understood. People that have $65 million, why not build exactly what you want?
Yeah.
Instead of just.
I guess it's the land. out there that is so expensive, and especially, I guess, in the California areas there of where it is of location.
Yeah.
So,
Sure, that's probably what it is.
and this lady, you can't blame her for suing. She was arrested for a crime in the end that she was cleared of. She was pregnant when they arrested her. They took her to the hospital and they cuffed her to a bed. Not only did they cuff her hands, but they cuffed her feet as she gave birth. She has now sued the police department of New York, and she has been awarded $750,000.
Now, I'm going to just go out on a limb there and say, even if you're a criminal, if you can give birth and then run out the door right right after that, yeah, I don't see the point in shackling her to the bed while she's giving birth. I don't think she was going anywhere anytime real soon after giving birth.
But you have to have some decency.
Unless she's Wonder Woman or something. I don't know.
That does not add up. And apparently the judge agreed with you.
Yeah.
And
now, I don't know. Maybe they were thinking she might try to harm somebody. Maybe they had her hands.
But again, she was cleared of the crime, and it was a misdemeanor.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was not a...
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I could be wrong on this. I'd have to go back and...
We might not know all the story, though.
Right, but I want to say it was something like a small shoplifting thing, and it may not be shoplifting, but it was a small crime, and they took her as she was full-fledged bad girl, and bet that officer won't do that again.
Yeah, if she's shoplifting, maybe they thought she's going to steal some of the...
Golly.
Lord, I don't know. People...
How many times did we see this during the presidency of Donald Trump, that somebody took a sledgehammer and went to Hollywood and tore up his Walk of Fame? They've replaced it once again. Here's the new one. It's up and going again. How long do you give this one? What are the betting odds?
I don't know. They need to put a camera there. So, I mean, the people obviously have nothing's been done to them that's tried to damage it before. But, yeah, hopefully it'll stay there. That's ridiculous that people can't.
Someone just posted there from YouTube, JJ, how many folks do you believe that will want to be cops in the future?
I think that it's probably going to turn a lot of people away from that profession. But the ones who are staying in it, I mean, we commend you. Because, I mean, it's got
to be a struggle to get up every day and realize that everything you do is scrutinized and that the mayors and the government no longer backs you or has your back. And if you're faced with a serious crime, because, I think you're taught, and I'm not a police officer, that reaction, you don't have time to sit there and think. When a threat comes up, it's reaction in seconds that saves your life or someone else's. And when you have to go through your mind and run through, am I going to get sued? Is the city going to get sued? Am I going to jail? Somebody's going to get hurt. Because,
I mean, used to, the cops people looked up to them, and they praised them and stuff. And I still think they're worthy of that. I think there's some bad apples in the bunch. Obviously, there's bad apples in all kind of professions, just people walking around every day. But that does not mean that everybody is.
You went into a convenience store and whoever was waiting on you was ugly. I mean, there's people that cars. Every industry has somebody that wakes up in a bad mood.
Right.
They do.
Yeah, but there's bad apples in every bunch. I mean, there's so it doesn't mean that everybody should be scrutinized for it. So.
And speaking of apples.
What? Oh, yeah.
Let's go out and talk about our friends out at the Red Barn Plant and Produce. This is out on Highway 19 South, and they've got all the produce and stuff starting to come in. If you're looking for apples and things of that nature, Charlie's going to have that with peaches and things. And, of course, plenty of plants to plant this weekend.
Yeah.
The rain's going to stop, and you'll be able to go in and do some more.
I don't know what the name of this plant is, y'all. I cannot remember, but I bought one the other day, and mine was like white. It's the prettiest thing.
Really?
It's got like thorns about that long, but it is so pretty, and it turns different colors. I mean,
you going back trying to get old Lee Greenwood song? What was I don't mind the thorns if you're the rose? Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that song.
But they have so many to choose from here. If you want to make your home very desirable, look great, this is how you do it. What they call curb appeal.
Right.
There at the Red Barn Plant and Produce. You'll find Charlie there out probably with a water hose about right now, getting ready, taking care of the plants there. Roses, real popular item.
That's instant color in your yard, and all these different flowers. I mean, if you want potted flowers to put on your deck or or if you want flowers to plant in your yard, they got it all.
That's right. And
Tons
if you've
of
got
ferns.
a question, 938-6439 is the number to speak to Charlie, and he'll help you out there at the Red Barn Plant Produce. Highway 19 South, just outside of Meridian. You go on past out Bonita Lakes, and he'll be on the right-hand side of the road there as you near Southeast School. So talk to Charlie. He'll help you there in many, many, many ways. Let's see here. This is one of those that how in God's green earth someone would even want to consider doing this. But a father commits suicide and straps his baby on him and jumps off a bridge and videos it.
Horrible.
Here's the headline of this.
I don't see how people.
Look at that
that
young
just
child.
makes me.
That
hurts my heart.
it does.
It's awful.
And it had a terrible ending.
Yes.
Just to say the least on that.
Poor. Just innocent babies.
It was, and so there's others that are affected by that. So keep them in your prayers on that. I did see in Mississippi, I forget which county it was. I glanced at it right before we went live a minute ago, where they had a bomb threat at a courthouse in Mississippi, to where they were going to have a
Really?
big drug trial, and the officer on duty saw something in the bushes, thought it was trash, and it ended up being a box, and they had to call in the bomb squad to get rid of it.
Oh goodness.
Prentice County, I think, is where it was. No one was hurt.
So did they ever find out if it really was a bomb? Or?
I didn't get to finish reading it. It was right before we went on, so we'll have to dig into that.
Okay.
What about, have you ever been going along, and I know you've seen this stuff on Facebook, to where people miss death by seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Walk in front of a car and whew, they barely miss it.
Yes, you can feel the breeze coming by you. It's so close.
This is one of those. Look at this. This is an SUV going down the road. Here it comes again, where you can see it really good. That tree falls. That would have killed them.
Oh, yeah. That's just amazing that it didn't even.
You don't.
That's just crazy.
You don't realize how many deaths there really are with storms of people that are killed in their cars, of trees that fall on the road.
I know. Yeah. I just can't even imagine being in that car right there.
I know.
That's one of those things. Did I make it? You can see the tree, falling, but oh gosh.
So that's one of the big headlines today. Let me see. I was going back. Are you in? Go ahead. What you were
No,
going to say?
I was just going to say. I wonder if it was bad weather that day. What would make the tree fall like that?
It had to be some wind involved with that.
So, anyway,
Are you a big? I don't know if you ever watched. Did you watch the movie Titanic?
I did. I've watched it several times.
All right. Did you watch any of those deep dives where they take the little submarine and they actually go down to Titanic?
Yes, I was watching where they were trying to find pieces and just different artifacts under the water and all. Yeah, but I've watched that. Not that I would ever want to be in one of those little things.
I can sit here and watch video and be happy to see that.
Yeah.
But that had to be a horrible thing, and of course that is not the
Yes.
biggest. The Susitania, which happened right after the Civil War, more lives were lost on it, but it was a bunch in this, people that lost their lives. As we look at this, they're saying that not everything that you've heard about this is true, that the third-class passengers were not locked. That did not happen.
Yeah, because that was a
In the movie, they made a big deal out of
they were
that.
locked down below. They couldn't be up there with first-class people. And
Didn't happen. And they say if the ship had, when they said the thing that it was unsinkable, what they were going by was it would hold up to four of them could hold water and not sink, but 5 it would sink. And if they had hit the iceberg head on, the ship would have never sank. But when it hit the side, it ripped the metal and it sunk 5 of the compartments, flooding it, which made it sink. So that's how they got the term unsinkable, because if it would have hit head on, it wouldn't have happened.
okay.
Weird. And they, Captain Smith wasn't reckless. They said you can forget all of that. Interesting there, but the Titanic. If you're big into all that stuff, do some reading on that.
That's an awful thing, though. I was thinking about this the other day, and I can't even imagine being on a ship out in the middle of the ocean and nowhere to go. And
So have you? I have never been on a cruise. Have you been there yet?
no,
You hadn't done
but
it
just
either?
thinking about that makes me
Not wanna go?
Second guess even wanting to go on one. Yeah, because I don't know, it just makes me nervous. That and airplanes.
Airplanes, you'll be good, but that sea. And if you get seasick, and I don't know if you do or not, there'd
I've
be
never
nothing.
been out there to know. I've never even been deep sea fishing. So
Well, what about
I know in the reservoir on a fishing boat. And that does not bother me. But
Well, then you might be good. I don't know. I want to try it. It seems like you get to eat a bunch of food and you get to stop here and go check this out.
Yeah.
But the coronavirus thing, and they're finally
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to open up Florida where people can go back on it. Would you feel? Because I'm telling you, what you see on the pictures, it all looks glamorous. So I bet you them little rooms that you stay in.
I've heard they're
Or
small.
boxes.
Of course, I mean, I guess some are like larger than other rooms, but I mean, I don't think I'd want to stay on one where I couldn't see the sky through the window.
Where you get a little hole and you see the water go by.
No, I don't want that.
I
I don't
don't
want to
know
see a
that.
water level.
You want a balcony.
Yeah, I want to see the air, like just blue skies. That'd be good.
One day I'm gonna get brave enough to do it. I've always heard that going to Alaska is just such a beautiful place to go on one of those cruise ships.
Now, I have heard Alaskan cruises are really, really nice to go on. I would love to do that. And I think you can take a train ride up in the mountains, too, when you get off the ship. But they say that you can see, like, wildlife up on the banks,
Yeah.
and, like, little, what do you call them, otters and stuff?
Yeah.
They'll swim by while you're out
This
there.
is two rednecks that hadn't been on vacations very much is what you're listening to here. One day we might get to do that.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Going camping is a treat for me. So,
Bugs, bushes.
yeah,
And you love that?
I just sitting out by a little campfire, just relaxing, that's all I need right there.
Smoky Mountains, that'd be
Yeah.
a great place to go
Yeah.
camping also there.
Right.
As we turn to Master Flow Plumbing, of course, they're going to take care of everybody in the Hattiesburg area down to the coast. Now, if you're in that area, listen up. They really help folks out there with saving you money and doing it right the first time. Deal with people that have been doing it. He's been doing it 36 years here. Got some great employees that if you've got an issue under your home, they can dig in, get this taken out. This is called a tunnel job. So if you ever hear that mentioned at your home from a plumber, what they're trying to do, this is what it looks like of what they have to do. Of course, front yard repairs. A lot of homes still have that old clay pipe there that you see there.
Yeah.
You'll see that when people are digging up streets. It crumbles.
I didn't
it
realize
breaks.
that was made of clay. I thought it was like steel or something.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know.
clay.
Okay.
And that's what they used to build all that stuff out of years ago. And if you have a large truck drive across your yard, it's going to bust all of this. Heavy trucks will do that. If you need repairs, they'll find it, fix it, put it back into place. If you need a whole line installed there that has got a crack in it, and each time you repair it, 10 feet more a week later, another piece, have the whole thing redone. They can do that, run it from the meter to your home. And this is a big one, those slab leaks that we've talked about before.
Yes, they can cause a whole lot of trouble. Mold, mildew. I'm sure it can damage your foundation.
Yeah, and not to mention that it ain't good to be standing in water near electricity.
Right.
Yeah, get that taken care of. As simple as getting a faucet, a sink replaced, or those handles that sometimes freeze up after years, Master Flow Plumbing. And the special that they've got going on now is cleaning out your drains for $125. There is no service charge to drive to your home. It's $125. It's guaranteed for 60 days. $125 cures it. Pretty simple there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because if you notice, like, your water's not going down real fast in your shower, I mean, you probably
Right.
do need that done. So,
And of course, getting your water heaters replaced. That's a messy job. Getting a toilet redone. See them at Master Flow Plumbing. Licensed and insured. They'll fix anything plumbing. They've been doing it for 36 years. From Hattiesburg all the way to the coast. Talk to them today.
that's right.
So what lies ahead for you today on a Friday?
Just work, but I think I get off a little early today, so that's a good thing. So,
Okay, I didn't know this. Maureen Fowles just posted that mosquitoes in Alaska are huge.
look,
Really?
I'm not sure how big they are, but I will say that I had a client who they went on an Alaskan cruise, went to Alaska.
Right.
And then when they went up in the mountains, they said the mosquitoes were horrible because I think some areas it's cold, and then you can go up in the mountains and the temperature it's a little warmer in some areas.
Well, see, I was watching last night those mountain men guys, and it was just snow everywhere, and they had to be out for a period. They were trying to build a fire to keep their fingers from. And I
Yeah.
thought all of Alaska was. I can't imagine a mosquito making it in
Oh
there.
yeah, I've heard that you can go in some areas and see snow and like glaciers out in the water and stuff, and then you go up the mountain and you have flowers like it's springtime. I mean, so I've heard it's a really beautiful place to go and see. But the mosquitoes, they say take some mosquito spray.
And the only other thing that I really know about Alaska is I watched the John Wayne movie North to Alaska. That's all I really know about Alaska. Did you
But
ever watch that movie?
No, I have not. I hadn't
Do you
seen
know
that.
the song North to Alaska?
No, I haven't. I don't. I'm not familiar with that, Scotty Ray.
Johnny
I know that it's
Horton.
hard to believe.
It's
Because,
shocking.
I know so
over here.
much about all this stuff that we talk
Talk to his team of
But
Huskies.
I do want to go to Alaska one
Beautiful.
day. That's one of my main places I want to go.
And you can visit Trump because he's going to be there trying to get the young lady out of office there.
Yeah.
He's campaigning against her. He'll be headed to Alaska before long for the 22 election.
Charles Coker said that don't forget that they want to do the same thing like they do to the police to veterans. That he says that, you know, a lot of times that I've seen that with my own eyes that they don't really show them the respect they need.
Yeah.
Like our military. So, and that does make me, I've said this before, makes me nervous being that my child just joined the military. So let's just pray some things turn around, you know.
We do.
And that we respect. It shows a lot more respect than what's being shown to our police, our military, and a lot of the workers that are not getting the respect that they should get.
And if you're watching now and didn't watch this morning where I done If I Were the Devil, I've loaded that to the page. If you want to go back and watch that and share that, because it is a strong message, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Who did that, Howard?
Paul Harvey originally done it.
Paul Harvey, yeah. But yeah, I've heard that, and it is scary. It'll make your hair stand up on your arms, because this is years and years and years ago, and it is so what we're living today.
And if you hadn't seen it yet, go back and watch that. I loaded that a little after 7 o'clock, so it's on the page. You can grab that, share it with a friend or two. And if you hadn't watched it, just listen to the words of what he said from 1965.
I do. I mean, I feel in my heart that it's so much evil out there right now, whether it be in government, just everyday people walking around. I mean, you know, we see all this craziness going on.
Nowadays, you take New York, because of the lack of police force, you're robbed in daylight on a street corner. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, things going on this weekend. We want to say thank you to Chris Scully and the gang joining us from Kemper Academy as they get ready for the big concert tomorrow night.
And if you're looking for something to do with your entire family, take the kids, something that's enjoyable. Y'all need to go see this. It's at Kemper Academy.
Football field.
Night.
Downtown DeKalb. Take it right there by Toonies. You can't miss it up on top of the hill there. We want to say thank you for each and every one of you joining us this morning. It was sweet of you. I'm going to be here probably an all-nighter with several pots of coffee to get us through this storm that is on the way. After midnight, be weather alert. I'll have updates throughout today as we lead up to this. I won't leave you in the dark before you go to bed not knowing what's coming. So we'll have several reports of this coming up. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. I don't think we are. But, you know, prom kids, they're going to be out tomorrow night. So I hope they have a great time and everybody stays safe. And I hope the weather cooperates for them, too. So, because a lot of them, it's their senior year, and they didn't get to do last year. So I just want everybody to be responsible and safe, and I want everybody to have a blessed weekend. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks to Clay Banks for watching. Also said that Alaska is also great, except for those mosquitoes. I didn't know. I'm going to have to Google this now.
I don't know. I think Mississippi could compete with the mosquitoes, because some of them look like they could tote you off.
Well, we did get the almost mosquito flag.
Yeah. So anyway.
We appreciate y'all, and I'll be seeing you later today, and Candace will be back bright and early on Monday.
Sure will.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by